Guy grabbed my girlfriend's 25F ass in front of me, 27M. What should I have done?
I'm pissed off because this is the second time this has happened. It has put a serious dent in my faith in humanity. I feel bad for my girlfriend, and I'm a little personally insulted. Yesterday my girlfriend, 25F, and I, 27M, went to see Amlin the Sniffers in concert. A couple minutes after the opening set finished, my girlfriend scoffed and said some guy that passing in front of us grabbed her ass slowly while looking at her. I didn't know what to do. I could clearly see the guy through the crowd, but a few things ran through my head. If I tell security, nothing will happen because they either won't care, or there is just no way to verify that he didn't just bump into her accidentally. If I verbally confront the guy, he'll just deny it, ignore me, or it could start a fight.
I'm 6'2", 187 centimeters, and 189 pounds, 89 kilograms, so I'm by no means small, but this guy was maybe 5'11" and built like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It seemed unrealistic to expect I'd win a fair fight. Even if I snuck up behind him, kicked in the back of his knees, and successfully wailed on him, there is a small chance well-meaning bystanders may try to save this man from being mugged in a crowded concert hall, and a high chance the security guards who are paid for this would throw me out before the main advent. Pretty much all of these options to an efficient job are ruining the night for my girlfriend and I don't know what she expects me to do in a situation like this either. She didn't seem disappointed in me, but I'd like her to feel secure around me.
The first time this kind of thing happened, we were in a crowded club and someone put their hand up her skirt and grabbed her by the front. This time, I was drunk and ready to punch someone, but when I looked there was like 5 guys around us and I couldn't tell who it was. My girlfriend couldn't tell either, and even drunk me couldn't justify cold clocking an innocent stranger. I'm gonna lose my mind if this happens a third time. I don't know what mindset to take or what to do when it comes to this sort of situation. I refuse to take the stance that my girlfriend shouldn't dress revealingly or that she should stay at home, but I can't accept a society that allows sexual assault to be a part of her routine. Reddit, if you have any wisdom or insights, anything to console my position in this, I'd greatly appreciate it.
My fiance and I go to shows and it happens. We yell and they just keep moving. Usually there's a group of us and the girls are never truly alone, but even then smiling face with tear. They do it in the crowd so they can pass it off as an accident, so you'd more than likely be thrown out and they'd get to stay anyway. When we're together he stands directly behind me, and if I feel uncomfortable he'll put his arms around my shoulders so he's visibly touching me. We separated ways at Marshall's the other day and some guy was on the dressing room area camera, waiting in line with me taking pictures of legs, and I was like, do you not care that you're on camera?
Needless to say, you can't protect us from perverts at every turn, but you can make it tolerable by keeping your phone on loud and vibrate and being aware yourself. Smile.
The problem is that you don't know how she wants you to react. I can tell you that I'd instantly want to throw hands, but my wife would be super pissed if I did. There has only been one time that she was okay with me fighting, and that was because I told him 4 times to GTF away from me. On the 5th time I looked at her and said, I have to do something, and she said, okay. I think the bottom line answer to your question is, you should do nothing that will make your GF upset with you. Get her to tell you what that is.
In crowded situations, stay closer to her. It is probably all you can do.
A lot of people saying that she should have yelled at or hit the guy. Let me tell you, as a woman who has been groped and assaulted many times, you don't always know what happened until you've had a moment to process, and it is very likely that, even if you do know what's happening, that you freeze. It's not your girlfriend's that she was assaulted, and it's not your fault either. Discuss with her about how she would like these sort of things handled. She might be okay with causing a scene and trying to out the guy. Or she might simply want to go up to security, tell them what happened, and leave the venue. It's worth having a conversation over.
A guy grabbed my girlfriend's butt in a pub once. I then walked up to him, slapped his ass and said, "Do you want some more of that, big boy?" He got too socially awkward to stay in the pub after that.
All of the comments saying she should be the one screaming or calling the guy out. Obviously you've never heard of women freezing or being too scared to act when stuff like this happens. I have a partner who is pretty talented in MMA, and one time while I was out with him, a man grabbed my ass. I had had 2 drinks, so I literally froze. Luckily my partner saw it happen, so he punched the idiot. Being in a bar we frequent, we didn't get kicked out. But the truth is we could have gotten in a lot of trouble, since technically my partner was the one that was seen being physical. You should have grabbed his ass back. Unfortunately, this is the world women inhabit. I don't know of a woman who hasn't been groped, assaulted, or worse. As a woman I wouldn't hold you responsible, because there's no earthly way you can protect me 100% of the time. 100% protection would involve you constantly scanning the environment and individuals around me. And it honestly isn't possible. Some lessons are worth getting kicked out of places for. I just want my partner to commiserate about how it sucks being a woman sometimes. I wouldn't want him to go guns blazing, cause it could put him in danger or both of us in danger. I would tell security. Lots of places that could get a person kicked out. Also, your GF needs to yell at the guy doing the assaulting. Tell him to duck off. Not at you. And consider shoving the guy away. Guaranteed if he does anything back to her, like 5 raging dudes from the crowd will help you kick his ass. It will also put him on everyone's radar. If girls don't call him out, he'll keep doing it, because he will think they are okay with it. Unless you feel in danger or the guy won't leave you alone, then I think you did the right thing. Way too many negatives to start a physical altercation. It's not worth it. If I was your GF I wouldn't want you to escalate either. There just isn't a positive outcome. There's not a lot you can do in that situation. Even winning the fight leads to a ruined night. You could have tried to tell security, but again probably would have done nothing. This is exactly why I stopped going to clubs, hip-hop and rock shows, and do only EDM stuff now. The crowd is so much better. Go to a rave, bro. My husband took me to a reggae concert, and there was one guy who was getting handsy. My husband just stood behind me with his hands around my waist. My husband ended up getting grabbed. He turned around and said, "I'm a dude. You grabbed a dude's butt. Was that on purpose? I'm here with her. Try someone else." Dude was so drunk, but he had enough sense to realize my husband was on the edge of deciding whether to beat the snot out of him. Next time, grab his ass the same way he did hers. My ex and I would go to hardcore shows a lot, and he would always keep a hand on me or stand directly behind me. I didn't mind it, but he asked how I can feel supported. I wouldn't have been mad if he started a fight, but I'd rather not be banned from venues. Lol. Perhaps she can be first responder and do something like screaming while looking into the guy's eyes and yelling, "Get your filthy hands off of me." You need to talk to your girlfriend, not random Redditors. How does she want you to respond? What does she think will make her feel safe? The one piece of advice I do have is to try to move away from focusing on feeling insulted. Because this isn't about you. This is about a person you care about being harassed, not your territory being infringed upon. Keep at the front of your mind that she's been disrespected, not you. If she's a bit passive, as you say, you can stand up for her, but 1. Use your words, not your hands, and 2. Defend her, not your honor. Call him out for it, and make sure your message is that any butt touching requires her consent. It doesn't matter if it happens in front of you or when she's alone. And it's wrong of him whether she's attached or single. Good. Hey, hands off. You can't just touch people, you creep. WTF. Did you just grope her? Quote, not as good. Hands off of my woman. WTF. I'm right here. Quote, other folks nearby will be a lot more on your side with this approach too. If they didn't see the grope but do see you explode out a punch aggressively, they aren't going to know what to think, and may defend him from your attack. Pirate flag, guard the booty. Pirate flag IDK if you're not very affectionate in public, or if you guys just kinda do your own thing. But you can try to be within arm's reach at all times. I basically am constantly in physical contact with my husband, so I can pull him around to be whatever form of human shield I need. Someone seems to be staring down my tatas. I smoosh them into my husband's back and walk in step with him while literally squished against him. Someone bumping into the butt? Just use him as a human buffer. Unfortunately, most women are just used to it, and most of us just kinda shrug it off and move on whenever it happens. Especially if we think it could cause more escalation. So you need to find out what your GF wants. Offer yourself up as her own personal human shield and then follow her lead on what else she wants. Most of us would rather just let the guy go off without consequences because we are worried about being met with violence we can't handle. Of course, some dudes may think it's irrational to be afraid of violence in public surrounded by people. But it's just something we've had to keep in mind constantly.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.